All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to IP Chatter. My name is Janelle Lacey. I am an intellectual property attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. But rest assured, no matter where you are in the country, I can help you with any of your intellectual property needs. So today we're going to talk about trademarks. Why trademarks? Because that is probably the most abundant question that I get is, how do I trademark this? What can I trademark? What do I need to know about trademarks and all that good stuff? So we're going to just get a brief overview today. I'm going to give you some good information. And of course, as always, if you have more questions, email me. I'll put my email underneath this post here. You can send me a message on either of these platforms and let's get started. All right, guys. So brief overview of what is a trademark. Talked a little bit about this last time. So a trademark is consumer brand recognition. It is how the consumer is going to recognize your products, your goods, your services. So for instance, the red and white bullseye, that's Target. If I go up to a store and it doesn't have the Target sign, but it's got the bullseye, I'm expecting that this is a Target. That's my recognition of their logo and their brand. So I walk in, I'm expecting Target prices, I'm expecting Target design of the store, and I'm expecting Target products. I know what my expectations are going to be when I walk into the store. So just as if I went into a Walmart, I'm expecting gray shopping carts or blue, and I'm not expecting the red shopping carts. I'm not expecting the products that I would see particularly or in general that I would see at Target. The layout's going to look different. I'm looking for blue and yellow and not the red and the white. So that's kind of in a nutshell. It is that recognition. When you see the golden arches of McDonald's, you know that's McDonald's. So you have an expectation of what kind of food you're going to get, what kind of service you're going to get, what the inside of that restaurant is going to generally look like. So that is trademark in a nutshell right there. So a lot of questions that I get are, what can you trademark? So there's quite a few things that you can trademark. You can trademark a name, a logo, you can trademark your business name, you can trademark a sound, you can trademark a design into your logo, your colors. There's quite a few different things that you can trademark. There's also some things that you cannot trademark. The most important thing, though, that I wanted to discuss today is you want a strong mark. Be it a logo, a design, or whatever it is that you're going to be using, you want it to be strong. So there are 5 different categories in which your trademark will fit in. And I won't go through all of those here today, but let's talk about the strongest one is called fanciful. So something completely made up, something that's not even associated with whatever it is that you're doing. So Kleenex, that's probably one of the bigger ones there. That I don't know of anything else associated with Kleenex except for facial tissue. So it's unique, it's distinct, and it is strong. So it's one of our stronger trademark names, although it has become a generic name now because people associate it with facial tissue, whether it's Puffs, Kleenex, or something else, but that's a whole different story. We won't go into that. But just as the name alone, that it would be a strong mark. Nike is also another one. That's a really strong mark. It's I think it's a Greek goddess, but it's not associated with tennis shoes, clothing, or anything like that. So it's something more on the unique, more on the distinct side, and therefore it is a strong mark. Now, our weakest marks would be something that's generic. So gym, I can't trademark the word gym. It's out in the public, it's a common word, and so everybody has to be able to use that word. Computers is another one. So I can't name my shop, I can't trademark the word computer. I can use something else in associated with computer or something else in associated with gym, but I cannot trademark those words by itself. And so that's why you want to find something that's going to be strong, something that's going to be unique. Now, it doesn't have to be the most outside of the box thing that you've ever seen. So one of the big trademarks that most people associate with is Chick-fil-A. They're cows. You see the black and white cows, you see the sign that says eat more chicken, you know exactly what that is. That's Chick-fil-A, you've got your expectations of Chick-fil-A, and that's a strong mark. It's a cow, it's associated with chicken. That doesn't even go together. So something like that. So what I encourage you to do is whatever your channel of trade is, you want to look. So if you're in the fitness industry, if you're in the restaurant industry, if you're in marketing, whatever it is, you want to kind of look at that space and see what kind of names are being used. So one of my best examples is, at least for the fitness industry, is we don't want to do green gym, okay? That's too common, it's too generic. You're more than likely gonna get shut down, or you're gonna get denied registration. And there might be one out there, I don't know. So a stronger mark is Orange Theory Fitness. And so yes, I used to work at Orange Theory, but use them as an example because it's a really good example of a stronger mark that really isn't associated with fitness. Orange and Theory, a lot of people call it, my friends call it Orange Therapy. Before I worked there, I didn't even know it was gym. I had no idea what it was. So that's what makes it a stronger mark, because it doesn't, just kind of like Nike, you wouldn't associate that with fitness. Now if they wanted to do Orange Fitness, they probably wouldn't have been able to get that mark. So I just want you to really kind of be creative. You guys are creators, you guys are business owners out there. So you want your name to stand out, and you don't want your name to sound or look like anybody else. So what happens at the office, once you file your application, the trademark examiner is going to look. One of the number one things that you will get a rejection for on your trademark application is if there's a likelihood of confusion. That is the number one rejection, in which will stop you from getting your trademark. So a very good example of that is, I know a lot of you guys have seen the movie Coming to America. So you guys remember McDowell's. It's a complete copycat of McDonald's. Had they tried to trademark it, they would get an absolute rejection, saying that there's a likelihood of confusion between them and McDonald's. And so that's why it's important to register your name, because not only do you want to own your mark, but you don't want somebody else coming in and using a mark that's similar to yours. So if McDowell's and McDonald's were both in operation at the same time, can you imagine the confusion? And say something happens over at McDowell's, and now they're blasting McDonald's on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever it is, saying that they did this, and that, and it wasn't even them. And so that's also another thing, is that you want to maintain your good reputation by making sure that you own your name, you own your logo, and nobody else can come in and start using something that is so similar to yours in the same channels as yours, to where it ruins your customers' experience thinking that it's you and not a copycat. So that's just some information to think about when you're thinking about, is it really worth it to trademark your brand here? So another question is, when do I have rights in my trademark? When does it expire? So as soon as you start using your trademark in commerce, then you have those trademark rights. Now remember, you only have common law rights in whichever geographical area that you're using that brand. If you want federal nationwide rights, that's when you're gonna have to register that name. You're gonna have to get your official trademark registration. And so what is the importance, or let me also talk about expiration. As long as you are using that name in commerce, then you have those rights. If you've registered that trademark, you've got those trademark rights for as long as you were using that mark in commerce. Now there is a possibility that you can abandon your mark if you stop using that mark and it's been some years. The trademark office can deem that your mark is now abandoned. And so if you leave it out abandoned, you leave it open for somebody else to come in and take it. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a baseball team in New York. I don't watch baseball, so I don't remember which one it was. But they were using a mark. They had abandoned it. There was another team that was, I think, in California or somewhere, and they wanted to use it. And then all of a sudden, the team that was in New York said, hey, wait, that's our mark. Well, unfortunately, they lost it because they had abandoned it, they hadn't been using it, marketing it, and all of that good stuff. So also keep that in mind. Think about your business. How far do you want to go with this business? Is this going to be something temporary where you don't really need that protection, or is this going to be something that you're going to be using for the long haul, that you want to expand outside of wherever you are right now? What you don't want to do is leave your business and your mark out there vulnerable for somebody else to come in and then take over, and you have to go and start back over from scratch. So not having your registration leaves you vulnerable. For instance, we have a client right now that's trying to get a mark, and he made it all the way to the opposition period. So what'll happen is you'll have 30 days. They'll your application will be in publication so that people can see it, and if anybody has an opposition to that mark, saying that they use that mark prior to you using that mark, or they own the mark, or something like that, for whatever reason they want to oppose you getting that trademark, that's the period they can do it. Well, had this other person who's opposing my client's mark, had he filed his trademark when he allegedly said he started using the trademark, then my client would have never even had the opportunity to make it to this publication in opposition period. So you want to think about that. If it's for the long haul, if you want to expand your market and expanding your brand, you don't want somebody coming in on the back end and being able to swoop in and get your trademark. And so unfortunately, this person who's opposing our client, he might possibly lose any rights that he has outside of just his common law rights to our client, because he didn't secure and own his trademark. And that's what happens. You leave yourself open for that to happen. So what's the last thing that I wanted to talk about here is it's definitely a cost. I know that's a concern for some people. What you want to think about, though, is talk to your attorney, talk to me, let them know what are your plans, what you want to do. Add it into your business portfolio, just like you would for anything else, for your marketing, for your overhead. Something that is important to your business and to your brand, because what you don't want to do is have to use the money that you could have used to trademark your brand and have to now use it to completely rebrand your business. So, and which will probably cost more. And you've got to reintroduce yourself to your clients, and you're possibly going to lose clients in the process. So I just want to put some things out there so that you know what the risks are, so that you are well informed to make whatever decision that you feel is best for your business. Again, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Send me a message, email me. We will talk about it. I'll be here every Tuesday. We'll talk about something different every week. Just give you some nuggets here and there to help you make sure that you own your stuff. It's so important. You created it, you worked hard for it, so why not own it? Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next week. Bye.